time, let's meet our final inductee of the class of 2017 Hall of Fame, Mr. Mickey Faulk, class of 1960. Mickey Faulk is a legendary baseball and basketball star with Garner High School and Guilford College. During his 4 baseball seasons at Garner, Mickey hit better than 300 each year with a career high of 500 batting average his sophomore year. His Garner High School baseball team won district titles his junior and senior years. Faulk's Garner basketball team won conference championships his junior and senior years, and he went to the state playoff his senior season, unfortunately losing to North Wilkes. He scored 24 points and had 13 rebounds in his last game. One of our school's first 2-sport college athletes, Faulk was awarded a scholarship to play both sports at Guilford College. He hit 10 home runs his freshman year, was team MVP his junior year, hitting .376 for the Quakers, and he served as a team captain his senior year. After attending San Jose State on a prestigious R.J. Reynolds scholarship, he returned to Wake County to coach Baden Whitley High School to the state basketball playoffs in '68 and '69, including his 26-0 regular season mark in 1969. In 2010, Mickey was inducted into the East Wake Sports Hall of Fame. Professionally, he was an executive with Colonial Life, an accidental insurance company, serving as vice president of national sales. He later established his own company and continues to serve on several boards. Mickey partnered with UNC All-American and NFL great Greg Ellis to create the Ellis Faulk Foundation. The foundation provides scholarships to area kids. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2 of Mr. Faulk's former teammates, Fred Robb and former player Ricky Tharrington. And judging by the looks on their faces, you better buckle in.
Speaking for myself, this is truly an honor to be here and introduce my friend, an associate for a friend for 62 years. I met him and I think I was 12 years old, right, 12 years old, had played some organized basketball on an 8th grade team. Played JV basketball, really became a gym rat. Any gym, any place that had a court, or if it didn't have a court, we'd make a court. That's where I met Mickey Faulk. We played together in high school. Mickey was a great basketball player. I won't get into all that because you've seen it. Rick's going to cover some of that as well. But just was great. My glasses. It was great being involved in sports. Mickey went up to Guilford College with David Adams here. Paul Upcraft was a mutual friend of ours. I don't think Paul was here, but Mickey and Paul were high school graduates went on to Guilford. A year later, there were 5 of us from Guilford that followed in their footsteps based upon the quality of the education and the sports programs. I kept up pretty well with the basketball aspect of it as I played obviously in high school and some in college. Enjoyed watching Mickey perform on the baseball field. He was truly, as you're going to see in a minute, a great athlete. Many attributes about Mickey, which you've already touched about from the athletic situation. I think there's a lot of things in life at times that we overlook. Humor, for example. After I graduated from Guilford, I spent 10 years in the textile business. Mickey was in various coaching and other situations. He left to go with an insurance company. After about, I was 32 years old, had no idea what I wanted to do in life, but I didn't want to be in the textile business the rest of my life. Mickey called me and asked me to join his team. My first couple of days, we ran down to Tabor City. Jack Holly, any of y'all are sports fans will know who Jack Holly is. Jack Holly, I believe Jay Carl confirmed, Jack Holly won before his death 412 high school football games, which is the current record for any North Carolina high school coach. So we go down to Tabor City. Paul Upcraft was the basketball coach at the time. And Mickey and I just to talk about this guy's humor, I didn't think it was very funny. We're playing around the football field. It's like August. They're having preseason practice. We're driving around the football field. Here comes the kid off the field, out in his dirty uniform and helmet. Mickey rolls down the window and says, "Can you tell me where Coach Holly is?" And the guy said, "Yeah, I think he's over there." And put him in the field. Mickey said, I got a score to even with him. See if you can find him for me. And that kid was off like, "Oh, I sure hope I can find Coach Holly." Anyway, as Ricky will address team building, as a coach, you got to be a team builder. Mickey, with his career at Colonial Life, who I spent 25 years with after starting with Mickey, you got to be a team builder. It's impossible. It's not what I can do, it's what we can do. And Mickey did a great job of sharing that with us. Obviously, to be successful in sports or in any career, you have to be a willing competitor. And one thing that we did at the insurance company at Colonial, one thing that we really enjoyed was the competitive nature of what we did. It was unique, I think, at that time. Every week, our company put out a sales bulletin that showed what every agent did, what their success was. And if you talk about competition, that's competition. And again, I think that was a great tool that we learned through Mickey. Mickey, as you can tell, at this table, people here, his wife, his daughters, the children, grandchildren, it's all based upon what you and your families have been able to do. He's a devoted Christian. We had breakfast a couple days ago, and Mickey made a comment about, basically our lives on this planet are measured in minutes. So let's do what we can for our friends, for the world, for people. Let's do everything we can while we're here to make the best of all those minutes that we do have.
I'm Ricky Tharrington. I'm the starting point guard for Mickey at Bacon Whitley High School. I first met Coach Faulk in August of 1967, and we heard that we wanted to get a new basketball coach. We had heard that he was an outstanding basketball player at Garner High School and then at Guilford. And then we heard that he came from a middle school in Winston-Salem. We were not impressed. A middle school coach coming to coach a high school team. Something wasn't right. It's 1967-68. We were a good team. We're one win away from going to the state finals, but we didn't go. 1968-69, the team was loaded. They asked Coach Rudy Brown, during the preseason, they had said, who's your favorite to win the conference title this year? Coach Brown said, I picked Dayton first and Whitney second. And he was right. We finished the season 26-0. One win, went to state playoffs and lost the first game of the state playoffs. But more impressive were those 26 wins. The average margin of victory that year was 20.8 points. If you take out the season, the game that we lost, we beat every team we played by over 25 points. That's impressive. The News Observer, sports writer Carlton Tudor, selected the 68-69 Dayton Whitley basketball team as one of the best in the history of North Carolina's high school athletics. Yeah, obviously he's a good coach. Look at his winning record. Talked to Danny Traylor. For some of us older folks, we remember Danny, seven-footer, played for South Carolina, played several years in professional sports. And Mickey coached him in that middle school where they lost 3 games in 3 years. And he said that Coach Faulk was his best coach. High school, college, professional. That Coach Faulk was his best coach. But let me tell you the rest of the story. And let me give you a little history lesson if I could. 1965, Baton Whitley was a consolidated school of Wendell, Nidell, and Roseville. The only thing we had in common with each other is that we didn't like each other. Somewhat, can you imagine someone with Wake County School saying, let's have a consolidated school with Garner and Cary? That's what it was like. Also, in 1966, North Carolina had what they called the Freedom of Choice Act. That was when the black students could voluntarily come to the white schools. In 1968, we had total integration. So Coach Faulk's job was not to be a good basketball coach. His job was to create a bonding atmosphere with 5 communities and 2 races to put together something that was put together not by their own preference. So Coach Faulk was not only an excellent coach, and we won a lot of games. Matter of fact, we still hold the record 50 years later for the most wins at East Wake High School. But Coach Faulk, more importantly, was the glue that held these 5 communities and these 2 races together that really in 1969 needed a common cause. So it is our pleasure to introduce our friend, our coach, my brother in Christ, Mickey Faulk.
Man, what an honor to be here in Garner, North Carolina. A place my heart never left. And what an honor it is to be with these inductees tonight, and what an honor it is to be with the former inductees that have come through here and the coaches. And I want to start out by saying this night is not about me. It's about the people that I surrounded myself with and the Lord surrounded me with. And all I did was just walk the way, and the Lord's had his hand on me every day as his child, and I can't thank him enough. But I want to also thank Hal Stewart, Eddie Gray, all the coaches, the teachers here in Garner, the future and the past. What a great job you've done, and this represents the scholarships you were seeing being given tonight. That's Garner. That's what it's all about. That's what it's been about for this old man that's 75 years old. What a great place it was to grow up in. And I don't take any of this stuff that Ricky and Fred were saying. No, it's about having good people, and that's the foundation that I had growing up in Garner, because our people taught us you ain't better than nobody else. You know, you are who you are. And I was baptized over here in the old First Baptist Church that used to be downtown by Reverend High. And I had a great mom and dad and a sister that's here with me and an older brother. And we had a lot of love in that family, but the things that they kept us in that church, and that's the first Little League I played in, was when they first started Little League here. I played on that Little League team when we had shirts, and all the community volunteers would come out and help us learn to hit a baseball or do slide or do whatever we were supposed to do. We were just kids. But I grew up out there off of Creech Road at the time, which was a dirt road. Started out there, and then we moved to the city. We moved into Garner. But but I have a buddy that I'm going to talk about in a little bit, Bill Goodwin. Bill and I have been buddies since we were 4 years old off Creech Road and Rock Quarry Road. But you know, when Creech Road was a dirt road, and I loved to play baseball and basketball, but the Lord blessed me, I could hit a baseball, not like Josh Hamilton. But we had, on that dirt road, there was a power line out there across the field, and my brother had given me a bat, and I would toss that gravel up and try to hit that piece of rock over the power line. If it did, it was a home run to me. So unbeknown to me, it was developing wrist and hand and eye coordination. I had no idea, other than I was a little country boy trying to entertain myself. And I sure DOT at that time didn't appreciate me hitting all those rocks out of this place. But coming back to Garner again, the foundation here of growing up and having community where everybody cared for each other, there was a lot of respect. And the way the respect grew was by my faith, because I was always taught that that individual, no matter whether they were black, red, white, or green, they were created by God, and they were special. And my mom and dad taught us as kids we were special. Not better than anybody else, but we were special because God created us. And with that, that gave me the self-confidence and self-esteem, I think, that as I went on into middle school, to high school, college, career, that gave me the feeling that I could talk with anybody, no matter where it was, who it was, that I had confidence that that person was created by God, treat them with respect, and still go from there. Going through middle school, I played ball up across from Toot and Tell It at the old school. And when I say old school, that place, it was old. And we didn't have the deal that you have today where we had a lot of volunteers at that point to help us get in the gym. If they didn't get us in the gym, Paul Leptograph and I and Bill would somehow break into that gym and be playing basketball on the weekends until Chief Knight would come by and he'd say, boys, you got to get out of here. And also, Dwayne, I think y'all would appreciate this, we used to have the school for the blind up on Garner Road, and Manuel Crockett and Billy Crockett, and his dad was the director of the school, and we'd go up and play with the guys there from the School for the Blind on Sundays and Saturdays, and we'd have some really good, what we would call interracial games. We didn't call it that, but we played, and they were friends of ours, just as Billy and Manuel were. We all were buddies. So that's the type of environment that we grew up in, where we had a lot of respect for each other. And I think this instilled in the things that you see today with the Trojan Club, Ricky and Mark, Mr. Massey, the things you see here it's all about teams. It ain't about me. It ain't about what I do. It's about a team effort. And if we win as a team, we win. We lose as a team, we share as a team. So that's a great thing in athletics. If you lose Friday night, you got to play again Monday. You got to play again Tuesday. And I know this is what Hal and the great coaches here teach. With that being said, I've got a special guy that he was a teacher. He's no longer with us. He's a teacher and coach here. His name was Mickey Cochran. And he and his wife, Helen Cochran, came to Garner. And he passed away a few years back, but like 96 years old. But Coach Cochran came into Garner from Star, North Carolina, and he pulled us together coaching basketball and baseball. He said, if you guys will listen to me and work hard, I'll get some of you into college one day. And we hadn't even thought about going to college. So we might want a job at Toot and Tell It, you know, where we could get. No slam, I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but Toot and Tell It was a great establishment there. And that's where we all hung out. So Coach Cochran says, we go through the high school and we have a pretty good career, and he calls Paul Updegraff and I one day, Saturday, he said, come on guys, I want you to go to Wendell with me and meet a new coach over there that's going to Guilford College. Well, at the time I'd planned to go to East Carolina, and Paul and I got in the car with him and rode over to Wendell, and his name was Clyde Parrish, and Clyde Parrish was a coach with Nancy with the Kegel. I think he coached Kegel at Wendell. But so we go over, Coach Cochran puts us in the car, takes Paul and I over. We meet this guy, Clyde Parrish, and he's got about 5 other guys from Wake County sitting around, and we're talking about going to Guilford College. It was in Greensboro. I'd never been to Guilford College. Had no idea what it was. We left there. Coach Parrish was such a good salesman, he said, we're going to turn Guilford College around, get it playing some good ball. We left there with Coach Cochran. We were going to Guilford College, never even been on campus. So we get in, he and Helen, his wife, I give him credit for taking us by the hand for 2 country boys that were looking for guidance and mentors, again, from the coaches and teachers. That's how important you are and what you can mean as a teacher and coach. And I'm the biggest, we don't pay them enough. We don't pay them enough, and they need to be doubled or tripled their salary for what our teachers and coaches do. So again, Nelson and all you fellows, I really appreciate everything you do in the teaching and coaching range. We get to Guilford College. Jimmy, you'll appreciate this from your earlier comments. Paul and Dave Odom and some of us are over in the student union, and we're looking around at all the pretty women there, and all the girls are playing bridge or doing something, and we're talking about English classes. And we say, who do y'all have for English? And they say, well, we got Dr. Wise. We say, yeah, we got Dr. Wise too. They say, what? I said, what days do you have it? They said, we have it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We look at each other and say, gosh, we got it 5 days a week. I don't know, how'd y'all get into a class with 3 days a week? We never knew they'd put us in remedial reading in English. And never told us. So all we were doing was following the program, trying to do, but with that in mind, I said it's not about me, as you can tell, it's about the people I've surrounded, or the Lord has blessed me to be in their company. And if you didn't mind bearing with me just a minute, Jim, I wanted to have 5 or 6 guys that really ran around with me and stood together. But Ricky, you saw earlier, was he was a magician with the basketball, super player, he could do everything. Blew his knee out against Millbrook. We got him to Duke, and Dr. Lennox Baker said, son, forget basketball, we got to get you where you can walk again. Ended his career, but what a magician he was with the basketball, and he was on that 26-0 team. We also, Fred and I just have, since we've had more fun together. Fred played on not only the state championship team that we went on state playoffs, he also went the next year as a state playoff, so he came along at some good times during the 60s. Also, we got Paul Updegraff. Paul, it was my roommate in college all 4 years, and we ran around together here with another guy right there sitting with him, Bill Goodwin. And Bill and Paul and I ran around and tried to find girls any place we could, and nobody had much to do with us. Until Bill found out we were going to Guilford College, and women's college had about 5,000 girls, so he was spending more time at Guilford with us than he did at East Carolina. But also, Dave Odom. Dave was with us at Guilford College. Dave was from Goldsboro. All these boys had a Garner connection, and this one you may not know, but Dave ran around with us, and as you know, coached the greatest big man in professional basketball, maybe at this point, Tim Duncan at Wake Forest. And Dave came along in a time when he loved the fact that Paul and I were from Garner, and we were from, there was a toot and tell it, and when we'd go in the room, he said, "Here comes toot and here comes tell it." And he also brought with him, you guys will appreciate it from Garner, if you didn't know this, Dave Odom was Hal Stewart's best buddy. And I think Dave helped influence Hal getting to Garner when Hal was coming, and what a great job Hal has done here, Hal. And congratulations on your good health in the '87 film we saw. The other thing I want to do, I'm going to ask my wife, stand right down here, and I got 3 pretty daughters. If you'd stand right down front, come on, stand right here. Carolyn, if you'd come, stand. Carolyn, my sister Carolyn. The reason I'm doing this is this is a little bit different than anything else. And my wife will kill me from this. But here's some women in my life that have been really special, and I've been spoiled with 4 pretty women around me, plus my sister in my life that kept me humble and kept me honest. But along the way, we got Mother's Day coming up next Sunday, and I thought this would be a neat time because from coaching, as you guys know, the moms are the ones that carrying them up, carrying the kids like us up and down the road and feeding the meals and doing everything. And it's us, the guys get off pretty easy with some of that. But I thought since Mother's Day is next Sunday, I wanted this, I'm honored tonight to be with you guys and honored by Garner. I'm honored by all the people that are here, the friends, but I thought I would accept this honor on behalf of all the women and the moms for next Mother's Day. And here they are, right here. Any mom that's out there, you're in our Hall of Fame, so we love you.
Coach Faulk, the only thing I'll say to you about the remedial crap is you never leave the stage with a man with a microphone. So, no, sir. I feel like I should call you Coach Faulk. Those were just unbelievable. So, ladies and gentlemen, another big hand for Coach Mickey Faulk. Well, as we close this evening, for somebody that was born and raised in Garner, somebody that went to Garner Senior High School, there was no Garner Magnet High School, and yes, I have played ball at Baden Whitley back in the day. If you're not from our community, one thing I will tell you about the Garner community is open arms. This is a community that welcomes everyone that comes in. Nobody's a stranger. If you're here for any amount of time, even if you moved here all the way from New York, you're always welcome in this town. On behalf of the Trojan Club, on behalf of Garner Magnet High School, we would like to thank our sponsors once again this evening, because without your support, none of this would be possible. For those of you that are student athletes here at Garner Senior High School, I hope if you learned anything this evening, congratulations on your award, but feel the love in this room from people that love this community. No matter how big we get, no matter how many times they split our school, we'll always be Garner Senior High School, regardless of what they call it. So just keep that in mind. So as you travel in life, wherever life takes you, just remember, Garner is home. Please remember that. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big hand for our inductees for the class of 2017 and our scholarship winners this evening.